In a way, we are all storytellers. We're sharing the story of who we are with the people we interact with on a daily basis, right? If you want to get some type of raise at your work, then you're going to talk to the boss and say the reasons why you should get a raise. This is the story, even though you don't say it this way, of why I should get a raise. I've done this in the past, and I'm now this type of person, and I'm worth this much, and I think that should be reflected in my salary, right? But most of you are terrible storytellers with terrible stories, and that's why no one listens to what you have to say. No one gives you a raise. No one is interested in being your friend because you don't know how to tell the story, and you also just don't have good stories in the first place. And I was there, I was in that spot when I was a freshman in high school. I moved to a new high school. I was not an interesting person, and I'm very outgoing and whatever the word is, enthusiastic, no, extroverted right now in life. And at that point in time, I just didn't know that's who I was, right? But I had to learn that maybe I'm not the most interesting person in the room. So I got to figure out, like, what are the ways that I could be more interesting? The first was just by doing things that are interesting, right? I've come to realize that over time. But at that point in my life in high school, I had no idea. And I wish I would have known that I have the ability to go out there and do things that would make people want to listen. It used to be the case my freshman year in high school that I would sit down at the lunch table and not know what to say. I wouldn't really speak that much. I would just listen to what everyone else was saying. But now I have stories that I mention it and people keep asking for more. They're like, what is going on? We sit down the other day and sometimes it just comes up out of nowhere. I'm not trying to, force this story on the conversation. But when it comes up, I'll tell the people I'm having lunch with or dinner about my 50 states in 50 days road trip. That's one of the most interesting things I've done with my life, right? And that's a captivating story. Well, you did what? You went to every state? Like, by itself, that's really cool, right? But on top of that, you did it with, in 50 days. Wow. You did it with your 3 buddies when you were 19. What? You bought a van and, did this road trip, bootstrapped. You got a sponsor from this gas station, racetrack. You ate Chipotle in all 50 states. You did what? That let you get a sponsorship from Chipotle. Like, it's all these details on this story. And when I tell it, it's just captivating, right? Now I'm an interesting person because I've done interesting things. And now people will listen to what I have to say because of that reason. If you want to be a more interesting person, if you want to attract success to you, you first have to become worthy of that, This is one of the greatest things I've heard recently, because I've got some high ambitions in life, and one of them is to have just an absolutely drop-dead gorgeous, very smart and beautiful wife. But to be deserving of that person, you have to become worthy of that person. That was the thing that I heard that kind of shifted my mind. So I can have this high ambition, but I also have to have a high expectations for myself if I want to actually find a beautiful woman who's also very smart, right? And those are 2 of the very, multitude of values that I'm looking for in a wife. But that's like, everyone would aspire to that, right? But no one does the effort required of them to achieve that. So then now I got to figure out, okay, if I want to become someone who's worthy of that, I have to become an interesting person, very funny, very charming, comical, all these different things. What are the qualities that it would take to be worthy of that type of person? One of them would be that you have to be in great shape. So, I'm already relatively in shape, but I'm talking like built, just like massive, yacked, joked, yoked, whatever the phrase is. Anyways, is that a chopper? You have to become a more interesting person, right? That's the gist of this video. So then one of the main takeaways from this is that you have to, another way to look at it is expect the expected, right? You can only expect the results of the effort that you put in. So if you're not willing to put in the effort to become the type of person worthy of whoever you're looking for, if you're not willing to put in the effort to become worthy of the dream that you have for yourself or that you have in mind for your life, if you're not putting in the effort to become worthy of this promotion, you should expect to not get it, right? You should expect the results from the lack of effort put in. But here's the great part about this is that you also should expect great things for your life if you actually put in the work. So then there's a direct correlation with your ability to succeed at whatever it is you want to do with the amount of effort that you put towards that thing. This is life-changing. This is revolutionary. You have the ability within you to do something to actually achieve whatever you want in this life, right? And it doesn't guarantee it, but it makes it much more likely. So come up with these massive ambitions for yourself. Become a more interesting person. That way people would be interested in listening to what you have to say. And then do things that would make people want to ask you without even you having to tell them they ask you. For example, taking photos is a great way to do that, but actually having something that's attached to you, like this, for example, when I had my massive beard or when I cut it down to this handlebar mustache, that's something that makes people ask me, like, why? What's going on? Why are you doing this whole look? It just gets people interested. They're intrigued, even if they're like, why would he ever do that if it's in a bad way? Maybe you don't want to do that, but like wearing like a red jacket, right? A vibrant red jacket, or like just colors that are very vibrant, or a certain type of really nice watch, whatever it is. Do something physically with the clothes that you wear to be a type of person that you aspire to be. As well, try to do things that would make people ask you questions about what it is you're doing, right? I don't know how to do that with practical examples for you in your certain circumstance, because not everyone can grow a beard. So I don't know, it's up to you on that part to figure out what is something I can do to show people this vision that I have for myself, or this thing that I'm working on. That way they are intrigued and they ask about it without me having to tell it to them. Because then you become, anywhere you walk, you become more available to opportunity because people are asking you about what it is that you're doing. That's the goal, is to have people wanting to hear more. You should want to hear, tell me more. No kidding, really. Someone lean in. Right? These are the signs of the wonders of sharing a good story. That's what you should want for your life, because it will open you up to massive opportunity. I've seen it in my own life, opportunity for new friendships, for advice, for help, just opportunity to be known, to feel heard, to feel valuable, to feel worthy. These are the things that we want. You have to become worthy of those feelings first by doing something that would merit someone's attention. Attention is a very valuable resource, so people aren't just going to throw it out. They're going to put it towards something that's actually valuable. So come up with valuable and interesting stories, and you will have people lining up to be your friend. And it'll be a great life, because that's all we really want at the end of the day, is just a group of people to spend life with and do incredible things. Why not us? By the way, why not? Why not? That's the whole point of why not us, is why not? Why not us?